Yeah, we take, major pride in it. It's really about, if you can control home field, you guaranteeing yourself a spot in the playoffs. So, we just want to make sure, like, anybody that comes in here already know our mission. We're going to protect our house. You line up, you get up. Appreciate y'all.
DeMarcus Lawrence keeping it short and sweet during post-game. Class was in session at AT&T Stadium. The Dallas Cowboys absolutely schooled the LA Rams, taking the win 43-20 to move to 5-2 in the season. It's Victory Monday here at the Star. I'm Nicole Hutchison, your host here on Cowboys Flashback. Now, there were quite a few questions going into Sunday about how this offense would respond after the bye week and what adjustments Mike McCarthy would make. Well, all those questions were answered. Not out the gate, of course. A slow start for the Cowboys early, giving up 2 sacks on the opening drive. Just a few hiccups with starting left tackle Tyron Smith being ruled out right before the game. But the boys do what they do best, and they shake back. That same drive, 7 plays later, Dak Prescott found Jake Ferguson at the back of the end zone. 4 offensive touchdowns for the Cowboys. That's the most they've scored in one game through 8 weeks. But can we talk about how this team dominated in all 3 phases for a second? Defense held it down. Special teams, Brandon Aubrey tied the NFL record of made field goals to start a career. He's now 18 for 18 in field goal attempts. And Sam Williams, a beast at gunner. He blocked a punt for a safety. That's 11 straight wins now at AT&T Stadium for the Cowboys. The last time Dallas won 11 straight home games was the 1991-92 season. Now they hold the longest active home winning streak in the NFL. Shout out to complimentary football at its finest.
The whole thing, I mean, if you get here early, guys were here a little extra early today, locker room was full, energy was great, and then be honest with you, national anthems played, and I thought our home crowd was unbelievable at the kickoff. I mean, there's not too many noon games where you see the crowd, the towels, the whole 10 yards. So, and I think really from that start into the performance of the team, the complimentary football in the first half was excellent. All 3 phases, contribute. Obviously with the turnovers, the pick 6, the block punt, offense didn't punt. So, I mean, it's a great start. And, in a versatile football team that we had a tremendous amount of respect for, for what they put on video. We felt they were playing very well coming in here. So, very good win for us. And just going back to some of the things we talked about during the course of the week, as a coach, you love these kind of weeks because, not only did you win a game, but you took a step, just because of the Monday extra work, and practice was really good. Our young guys are getting better. And it's just, it's all part of the growth you're looking for. But it does push us to 5-2, and winning at home is really one of the oldest formulas in pro football. If you take care of your home turf, you win your home games. You're going to probably be where you want to be at the end of the year.
Tim Calishaw, Dallas Morning News. I know one of the plays didn't count because of a penalty, but you're watching the game start, and Dak has sacked 3 of the first 4 plays. Yeah. What is going through your mind at that point?
Well, it's tested my game plan. So definitely, we wanted to come out and tilt more towards the passing game starting out, and then I definitely have the 2 sacks in the first 3 plays. But we stayed the course. Our guys stayed the course, and that's part of it. And that's the beauty of winning and still having plenty to correct. Just speaking with Dan briefly before I come in here, pretty much had the same conversation. We have a lot to work on, and that's a good place to be after a significant victory.
Dak Prescott and company put on a show against the Rams. We'll be breaking down the offense and defense later in the show, but up next after the break, Savannah Humoller joins the show to break down her key playmakers of the game. We'll be back right here on Cowboys Flashback.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys get their 2nd straight win, their 11th straight at home by demolishing the Rams. I'm joined by Savannah Humoller on Cowboys Flashback. Now, obviously, had plenty of guys who stood out yesterday. Who stood out to you the most offensively? Let's start there.
We're going to get into it. And like you just mentioned, Cowboys had their 11th straight win at AT&T Stadium yesterday against the Rams. And there were some incredible plays on both offense and defense. And there's two players that stuck out to me the most. We're going to start off with my offensive player of the game from your Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. 12 receptions, 158 yards, and 2 touchdown catches. He was explosive last night for the Cowboys offense. With a career-high 12 receptions against the Rams, Lamb had a total of 308 overall receptions. He's the fastest player in franchise history to reach that milestone in his 56 career games as a Cowboy. You could see during the game how quick Lamb was able to find the ball from Dak and make those breakaways. It was Lamb's 3rd career game with at least 10 receptions, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He seems to excel week after week. And on to my defensive player of the game, DaRon Bland. His intercepted pass from Matthew Stafford was returned 30 yards into the end zone for a touchdown, his 3rd pick 6 of the season. Take a look.
They're going to blitz Stafford. He throws it to the left. Picked off by Bland. He's done it again. Look at me. My eye came back home. A house call for DaRon Bland. 3 touchdowns on interceptions by DaRon Bland.
He is tied for the league lead with 4 interceptions in 2023. And with 9 career interceptions, he is starting to trail Trayvon Diggs, who has 12. And get this, Bland this season has caught more passes for a touchdown than some top NFL wide receivers, including Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, and Tyler Lockett. I can't wait to see what DaRon Bland is going to do against the upcoming Eagles. We got a big game coming up this week.
We need him. We need the rest of this defensive unit, but there's nothing but Bland about Bland. But listen, we're going to be right back. We have more coming for you on Cowboys Flashback. Stick with us.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys get their 5th win of the season, the best win of the season since head coach Mike McCarthy started play calling, and Dak Prescott played his most complete game of the season, even with an interception. He completed 80% of his passes for 304 yards, 4 touchdowns Sunday. His 4 passing touchdowns marked his 8th career game with 4 scores through the air, tying Danny White for 2nd in Cowboys history. His 80.6% completion was his 3rd game of the season with a completion percentage of 80% or higher, the most in the NFL. But he couldn't put up those numbers without his playmaker. CeeDee Lamb accounted for nearly half of Prescott's completions. Lamb set a career-high 12 receptions, 158 yards, receiving yards, and tied a career-best 2 touchdowns. Sunday was his 3rd career game with at least 10 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdown catches, in the most in franchise history. Brandon Cooks caught his 2nd touchdown as a Dallas Cowboy, his first time recording a receiving touchdown in back-to-back games since he was a Houston Texan in 2021. Dak got the tight ends involved as well early on. Jake Ferguson had the first touchdown of the game, his longest touchdown reception of his career. It was good to see that trust between Dak and his boys on full display and how it's continuing to grow each week, and it's paying off. This offense is clicking and couldn't have come at a better time.
Honestly, it wasn't a bit scheduled. Dak did a great job of, scrambling in the pocket, playing above the 2.3. And then I did my best of being open and staying open. So,
were you surprised that the Rams you guys were so explosive against the Rams?
Not necessarily surprised, because that's what we're looking for, week in and week out. That's how we should play, and that's just more of a stepping stone to what's to come.
Work, a lot of work, a lot of time put into it. Talk about depositing the work and being able to withdraw it when you need to, and you can go back into the off season. I mean, from the time we started way back in, I guess, April, maybe even before then, in my backyard, to the time that we spent in mini camp OTAs, to trips out to Atlanta. A lot of time invested, a lot of trust in that guy. He runs. He knows what I'm thinking. We're always communicating. And I think that's why when it's not going our way, it's frustrating, you know what I mean, because we put so much into it. But he's right now, we're reaping the rewards of everything that we've put into this, and it's just only going to continue to grow because all that does is give everybody, himself, the whole team, play caller, everybody more confidence and getting him in positions and allowing us to go to work.
The Cowboys are still trying to find some consistency in the run game, but when they do, chef's kiss. No surprise from this defense at all. The Rams have had success against the teams with their rookie Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. The boys shut that down, holding Nacua to just 3 receptions on 7 targets and Kupp to 4 receptions on 10 targets. Dallas put pressure on Stafford and do what they do best, get takeaways. The Cowboys recorded their 13th takeaway, tied for 4th in the NFL now.
It feels great. It feels great. I talked to D-Law, talked to Micah right before the game, and we said, let's come out here, let's get this game over quick, because we know what we got ahead of us next week. And we came out and did that, got it done early. We were able to sit down and relax a little bit at that end.
Defense handling business, especially second-year safety DaRon Bland. He caught a pick 6 in the first quarter against the Rams. I got a chance to catch up with him, and here's what he had to say.
Man, I got to start with this big game for you, of course, a pick 6. I actually called that earlier this week on Girls Talk, Boys Talk podcast. Just walk me through that play and what'd you see?
I mean, I started seeing Cooper Kupp. He had like an option route, so I seen him start going out.
Yeah.
And as soon as I looked back, I just seen the ball. I was like, thank God. I was like, thank God. But no, I was just telling the guys like last week. It's like I dropped those 2 last week, so I gotta get y'all back. So I'm glad I got it back with the pick 6.
That was that extra motivation to come in this week and get that pick 6?
Yeah.
Just talk about, obviously, you have a knack for ball hawking and being in the right position at the right time. Just where does that come from?
I mean, that just come from my old days, playing receiver, just go get the ball. So that's all I always try to do, is try to act like a receiver and go get that ball.
I was hearing DaRon Curse talk earlier, and he kind of laughed and said quarterbacks seem to forget how to throw. I know you've been, told that. He said that earlier, but just talk about that. I mean, do you feel like that's kind of some truth to that?
I don't know about all that. I give some credit to the quarterbacks, but but no, it do seem like it for right now. His ball I'm just finding the ball. So
talk about the message that you guys were looking to send coming into this game today.
I mean, just like our break this before the game, we was just talking about violence. Just trying to keep that all game and just be violent. All phases. So
moving forward, what does that do for you all's confidence heading into a game like the Eagles next week?
I mean, we're gonna enjoy today, today. We're gonna enjoy today, but we gotta push on and move on to the next, division rival. So
DaRon Bland, everybody, anything but Bland on this defense. He's the first Cowboys player in franchise history to record 3 pick-6 TDs in one season. He's been special all year long. But when we come back, George Teague joins the show to break down some highlight plays from this game. You don't want to miss it.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
We love a good Victory Monday here at the Star, and it's only right to have Cowboys legend George Teague in the building with me to talk about this game. Big win for the Cowboys, taking down the Rams in Week 8, 43-20. George, I gotta hand it over to you. I mean, what plays stood out to you the most?
You know what? There are so many plays that it was actually hard to narrow it down to a few plays, but I felt like it was important for us to be able to hit offense, defense, and special teams today. So if we can go ahead and get to some offense, I think that'd be good, right? Because this was a tremendous play. We're always talking about what the Cowboys don't do in the red zone, but let me show you what happened this time. This is an awesome job, right? There's trips to the right. We actually have Fergie right here. And I need for you guys to see the tremendous route that he runs when you have split safeties that he bends just enough to get in between both of these 2 safeties that are sitting high. Please watch Dak's eyes on this pass too. So let's go ahead and roll the tape. Dak takes a quick look to the left. Here's the bend to try to move the top safety. Right behind this guy's head, right? That's where he's taught. Throw it to the back of the head. A tremendous catch by Fergie to go ahead and change some things about the red zone.
I like how you said great read by Dak, and he talked about that in the press conference about how much he's trusting Jake Ferguson more. And you're kind of seeing that 2 high safeties and the Mike linebacker who just runs right past him. But talk about this run game. I mean, you saw it's still not as consistent as we'd like, but you saw some good moments from them. Tony Pollard.
That's right. You got to be creative. Mike McCarthy's doing a good job, and when you have guys on the inside like Aaron Donald, you got to be able to try to get away from him and around him. So in this one, what we need to be able to see, this is a toss sweep with cracks and wrappers, okay? And that's why this is a little bit different. So you're going to see Schoonmaker crack a defensive lineman. That's the first thing. And then you're going to see more guys wrap around and go lead block, okay? That's why this is interesting. You're going to see Tolbert come around as well. The one hidden one is the guy off the screen who's going to, come. Can't get to him. CeeDee Lamb is going to crack block as well. So we'll go ahead and run this. Schoonmaker sets the edge. We got motion by Tolbert, who is going to wrap around and become a lead blocker. Chuma Edoga going around. Look what it does to Aaron Donald, who has to chase him down the field because we have to run around him. Got Tolbert out front, leading block, an explosive run play. Explosive plays, runs over 10 yards.
Yeah, and you saw how Chuma kind of made that extra block to extend that play a little bit. Let's talk about this defense, right? Some really highs from this defense. DaRon Bland, what a guy yesterday making history.
Well, you know, his name is Bland.
Bland for no reason.
But there's nothing bland about him. He's very destructive, right? And so this one right here, I really need for you guys to watch this left tackle. Why am I talking about their offense? Because he's coming out here, and he is supposed to blow up a little bitty corner right here. Now, you're going to have other guys come out. This is called a tunnel screen, so it should look like this, where he's going to run up the field, all right? But when it starts to happen, watch that left tackle come out here, DaRon Bland. DaRon Bland is making a tremendous effort to make sure that big number 77 doesn't get him. Duck, get underneath that. You do not want to get hit by them big guys. He actually saved a touchdown because they had that one lined up very well.
And we also remember his pick 6, making history to be the first Cowboys player in franchise history to have 3 pick 6s in one season. But let's talk about Sam Williams, man. What a game from him at gunner.
Yes, that's right. So he's been doing a tremendous job for us. Special teams, when you're talking about how do you win a football game as dominant as you can, winning all 3 phases is awesome. So in this one, I want to highlight this guy, right? Because he has to make a decision on, is he going to block him or him? So that leaves everybody else one-on-one. So this is going to leave Sam one-on-one right through him, and he has to beat that guy by himself one-on-one. So we roll the tape. You see the personal protector move inside to go pick up one of those inside guys. Sam Williams does a great job of beating the block and taking the ball off his foot. That's really, really important because you don't want to run into the kicker unless you definitely have to get the ball. So this is a big momentum shift for us. Great play by Sam.
Great play by him. Great play by a lot of the Cowboys yesterday. If you had to really quickly give your game ball to someone, who would it be?
Oh, wow.
I know, it's hard.
She put me on the spot with really quickly.
Sorry.
I still got to go with DaRon Bland. You know, big plays like that, scoring touchdowns, leading the league.
Doing everything.
That's my guy.
Doing everything it takes to win. The Cowboys get the win against the Rams in week 8. Weeks are starting to run together. Yeah. But we'll be right back here on Cowboys Flashback. Stick with us.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, an NRG company.
The Dallas Cowboys get the win in fashion against the Rams, absolutely dominating in all 3 phases. Some history made for a couple of Cowboys players, but a couple of new career highs set as well. Even moments that might get overlooked, like Kevontae Turpin's 88-yard kick return for a touchdown that was overturned due to Nashawn Wright flag for holding. Big time win for Dallas. They have today They're off days for tomorrow as well to enjoy, but then it's right back to work. They're back on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, the top dogs in the NFC right now, sitting at 7-1. They have arguably the best offensive line in the league, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, a long list of weapons, and a defense that ranks right below the Cowboys at 6th in the league. It'll be a battle for sure out at Philly, but a test the Cowboys are most certainly up for, sitting at 500 in road games. The team acknowledged that actually in Sunday's postgame that they haven't been consistent on the road. That's something that they plan to change this Sunday. And speaking with DaRon, he actually made it a point that they are looking and very confident heading into this game on Sunday. 3:25 kickoff out in Lincoln Field, Financial Field in Philadelphia. That is a wrap for Cowboys Flashback. We will see you right next week. You don't want to miss it.